Hey crypto fans, welcome back to this week's Crypto News Roundup by EXMO Exchange. And in today's video, I have a great one for you. I'm going to talk about a short-term potential drop in Bitcoin's price, stablecoins, adoptions, EU regulations, and much more. So if you're curious to get caught up to speed, then you know what to do. Just smash that like button, sit back, relax, and just keep on watching. Okie dokie, so the very first piece of news is a potential stock market sell-off, and with that, potentially causing Bitcoin to drop in price too. And this is from a Wells Fargo analysis that says that stocks could sell off after an amazing and unprecedented recovery in the stock market. And that makes Bitcoin's price at a risk of a sharp correction too, maybe like we saw a couple months ago at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. Because Wells Fargo specifically anticipates that U.S. corporate pensions will move $35 billion into fixed income, and that may cause a sharp sell-off in the stock market. And because we've seen Bitcoin and stocks correlated recently and hasn't uncoupled quite yet, this means that BTC could be vulnerable for a big pullback too, right? And you can see just this chart over here that they've been pretty well correlated, the S&P 500 and Bitcoin's price. And that has been the case ever since March of this year, 2020. Some other things that are speculated to be affecting Bitcoin's price short term are the expiration of Bitcoin and Ether options. But that didn't really happen that much, as we've seen since this article is a tiny bit old. And also selling by Bitcoin miners. And people have been tracking the inflow and outflow from miners to exchanges to see when there might be a short-term drop in price action. Now, just a quick bit of news about EXMO Exchange. If you've tried it out already, they've upgraded their wallet feature. So if you go to their wallet page and then click on the button switch to new design, you'll see all the new stuff, incredibly clean and easy to manage. You can see the balance on the top right, and then you can click on deposit and withdraw next to each of the fiat on-ramps or crypto if you scroll down. You can take a look at the details about transactions, create templates, look at the fees, limits, and much more. So if you're an EXMO user, go check that out right now. And if you're not, then be on the lookout if you ever decide to sign up. Next up is about stablecoins, and Tether crosses $10 billion in their total market cap, which is super impressive since they have grown a ton this year. Right? This is the first time any stablecoin, even Tether itself, has surpassed $10 billion in total market cap. Alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum, Tether is now one of three to have that much or over in market capitalization. Now, this article does note that some aggregators say that Tether's total market cap is a little bit under 10 billion, but close enough, right? And also USD Coin and Binance USD, or their ticker symbols, USDC and BUSD, have also seen triple-digit growth since early this year. So those are also super hot stablecoins and winning the stablecoin race. Whereas Paxos Standard Coin and TUSD or True USD have dropped. So we're seeing a really three-pony race so far between Tether and then lesser USD Coin and Binance USD. Pretty interesting. I've used at least two of them. What about you? Next up is the EU wanting to create a regulatory regime for crypto coins, says their economic chief, right? And they say that they want to become a global standard setter and lead the ways for adoption and creation of new digital finance technologies. So far, security tokens are already pretty well covered by European law, but a lot of other types of coins and crypto coins, like stablecoins, for example, remain entirely unregulated. So they say this is creating a barrier to develop these crypto asset markets in the EU because people are unsure of how it will be treated by regulators, so they don't try to go in and innovate. They said that they'll potentially have a pilot scheme which will let for people to experiment with different solutions and be monitored and observed. And he does want to bring stricter rules on any project that's deemed to be a global stablecoin. He didn't immediately name any, but Facebook's Libra comes to mind. He especially says that their approach will be proportionate and relative to the level of risk, right? Because less risky projects will have lighter rules, and in case of global stablecoins such as Libra, they have potentially a systemic way of changing finance as we know it, especially cross borders, regional, and global finance. So their rules will be much stricter. So it's interesting to see that regulators are taking note and are making steps to come up with a standard so companies can have some clarity, and maybe we can see Libra come out or other ones similar like that. Last but not least, UK residents, nearly 2 million own Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which is way up from last year. And there's a lot more holders, or hodlers in this case, but their security practices aren't good. So the UK's financial regulator, FCA, Financial Conduct Authority, said that almost 2 million or 1.9 million people, almost 4% of their population, currently hold Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. That is a large amount and a surprising percentage of their population, right? This has been an increase from last year to the people who have bought cryptocurrencies. Just the general awareness has risen a lot too. 42% were conscious in 2019 and 73% in 2020. Out of all the major cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin came out on top in terms of awareness and recognition. 78% of people recognized it, followed by Facebook's Libra, and then Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum. Most people who were surveyed also reported that they're long-term holders, with 41% expected to be invested for longer than 3 years. And a lot of people are seeing crypto advertisements and other media spotlights as the reasons why they're becoming more and more aware and involved. But a big problem is that a lot of them use exchanges like Coinbase or Binance and just hold it on the exchanges, right? Because they aren't either aware of or following the rules of not your keys, not your Bitcoin. So very interesting to see that, and definitely a lot more beginner education that people should learn in the UK and around the world in terms of safety for the crypto coins. All right, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this week's Crypto News Roundup. As always, please like this video, subscribe down below, come back for next week's Roundup to get caught up to speed in a very easy manner. I'm Kevin. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.